Welcome to the magnificent venue of Beto Carreiro Park in Brazil. We're just south of Sao Paulo. My name's Paul Mayling. You join us live for the fifth round of the FIM MX1 Motocross World Championship. Temperature and conditions in general a lot different to what they were yesterday when these helicopter shots were taken. But it was a good circuit yesterday. That's what we've got today here in Beto Carreiro. Well, we've got all kinds of things going on here this weekend. You just saw the big gorilla hanging over the tree at turn one, but the conditions here, that's pretty much where we were staying the last few days, just down there by the beach, about 20 minutes away from the circuit. We've had fantastic weather all weekend long, but today, 5 o'clock this morning, we had a bit of a downpour, it has to be said. So the Beto Carreiro theme park, the largest in South America, hosting this fifth round of the FIM MX1 MX2 Motocross World Championship. Cairoli in MX1, 29 points clear of Clement de Sal, with Gauthier Paulin 15 points further back. Remember, Paulin failed to start the second moto in Mexico 1 week ago, so how costly will that be? But as we said earlier in MX2, conditions from qualifying yesterday, which Tony Cairoli was the winner from Gauthier Paulin, are really irrelevant now in terms of what can happen out on that racetrack in a few moments' time. While we're on the subject, Cairoli, who won the qualifying race yesterday from Gauthier Paulin, De Sal was third, Bobryshev fourth, Dean Ferris had his best qualifying of the season on the Ice One Racing Kawasaki. He was in fifth, ahead of David Philipparts, who had a bit of a scare actually coming over the big uphill triple, couple of corners from the finish line, didn't get the distance, bounced off the top, landed on the flat in the corner, ran out into the track, into where all the journalists were, did a 180, came back on himself, and only lost 1 or 2 positions, managed to get those back as well, but ended up in 6th position, just ahead of Jonathan Barragan, Kenda Dyker, Xavier Bourg, and Rui Gonçalves. There's a quick look at the track, 1,500 meters or so, and it's 1,500 meters of pure hell. We're going down to the start line. Here's Amy. Back, it's not Amy. We have our team report here, and it's JK Datch. And I can't hear the audio at the moment, so I'm going to have to freestyle this a little bit for you in terms of Riccardo Boschi, the team manager.
Il mio team nasce nel 2000 da una passione mia per il motocross.
So Riccardo
Siamo
Boschi
partiti nel campionato del mondo con Yamaha, abbiamo fatto 6
saying
anni
that
con Yamaha.
they've been in MX1 for
4 anni con Aprilia
10 years.
Quest'anno rieccomi qua con Yamaha. È nato tutto da un accordo con uno shop olandese, Gebben. Abbiamo avuto l'aiuto da
the team was pretty much started out with a passion for motocross. He had 6 years with Yamaha, 4 with Aprilia. Of course, he's back now with Yamaha. So got a good relationship going on with Gebben, a bike shop in Holland. They get help from Rinaldi for engines and also a little bit from Holland of Yamaha of Holland. The two riders, Heron Bracker and Alfie Smith. One a hard rider, one a sand rider. No clues as to which one's which. Heron Bracker, the better of the sand riders, but they've been here for 12 years and they're looking to stay here a little bit longer. Here's Alfie Smith in a moment, telling us about his change from Aprilia to Yamaha this year, 2012. But Riccardo Boschi there, just filling us in. There's Alfie Smith. Let's hear what he has to say about the season so far.
The Yamaha this year is actually really good. A lot better, like suspension from what I'm used to, and the engine's so strong on it. So I mean, it's really good.
So you took your first points in the World Championship in FOMO last year, and then scored again this year. What is it about that track that you like?
I really like the track because it's quite supercrossy. I got my own supercross track back in England, what I train on a lot through the winter. So therefore, I'm quite good at the jumps, and it seems quite similar to that track. And I mean, I didn't ride too well on the Saturday there this year, but it shined on the Sunday again, and well, it scored points, so I'm happy with that.
and we're in Brazil this weekend. How are you finding it so far?
Yeah, I mean, we landed here on Tuesday, which was really good. We went to see the circuit team, see their factory, which was good. They put a bit of a freestyle show on for us, so it was quite cool. And then we come and had a look at the track yesterday. The track looks so good. And then we're here in the park today with everyone having fun. So I can't wait to get on the track anyway. Anyway, enough about me. What's your name? Where'd you come from?
Hello, my name is Arjan Brakke from the Netherlands. I'm riding for the JK Gabon Yamaha team. This is my third season in the GPs. I started in MX2 and this is my second season in the MX1.
Arian, how are you finding riding this year? Do you feel like you've improved?
Yeah, I think I improved by last year. Last year I was fighting for the points and I did it a few times. I scored 28 points over the whole season, and now I race 3 GPs, only Mexico not, and I have still 10 points, so I think I improved, yes.
And we're here today in the Beto Carrera theme park. How are you finding it? Having a good day?
Yeah, it's so nice here. The theme park is, yeah, it's huge and so much fun. We've been in the tower, the huge tower, and yeah, together with you and my teammate and Sean Simpson, it was so much fun.
And we just mentioned your teammate Alfie there. How'd you get on with him?
He was a little bit scared, but I take care of him, and then he was okay.
That was a quick look behind the scenes then at JK Gabon Yamaha Racing. And in a moment, that's what we're going to try to do here in Brazil as MX1 Race 1 gets underway. In the qualifying race on Saturday, Tony Cairoli led his Red Bull KTM factory racing machine pretty much each and every lap ahead of Gauthier Paulin, Clément de Salle, Evgeny Bobryshev and Dean Ferris. David Philipparts was 6th ahead of Jonathan Barragan, Kenda Dijker and Xavier Borg, with Rui Gonçalves rounding out the top 10. The rain has started to fall again here in Brazil, as you can see. And it's been pretty much like that since 5 o'clock this morning, rattling against our hotel windows. And it's a shame, really, because the circuit here was absolutely prime yesterday during the qualifying races. They were able to work on the track in 1 or 2 parts. The rain wasn't expected either, and obviously taking everybody by surprise. You can see the shiny part on the racetrack there. That's where they've tried to blade the ruts out of the way, where you rejoin over the finish line jump and turn right back onto the start straight area. Obviously the grandstands that you can see behind the start line area, and you've got pit lane there just below that into that next corner. The ridge of rooftop buildings there, that's the 2 VIP areas. It's 2 floors of VIP, 28 boxes, so 56 in total. All of our sponsors, of course, Romagnoli have got their box. Honda, who obviously sponsoring the Grand Prix, the Honda Grand Prix of Brazil this weekend, they have that whole end section that looks over both sides of the circuit. This is how they finished in the qualifying race yesterday, as we've just mentioned. But Tony Cairoli has a 29-point lead in the championship at the moment over Clément de Salle. Gauthier Paulin 15 points further back in 3rd. No points for him in the second moto in Mexico a week ago. Kenda Dijker, probably the surprise package of the MX1 Championship this year. He's in 4th on the Red Bull KTM, and he had a blinding ride yesterday in the qualifying race. Went down at turn 1 with Kevin Strybos and picked himself up on what some people thought might be a difficult circuit to overtake on. And, well, he carved his way through. Now, obviously, with the lap thing, if you go past the finish line immediately after the first turn, then obviously the next time you come round, that's when you record your first lap. Where the start line is, even though they do that first lap, they haven't passed the finish line twice. So on the second lap, which was the first official lap registered for Kenda Dijker, he came through in 9th position, got up to 8th, lost a place to Xavier Borg, got it back again with about 3 laps to go, and ended up finishing in 8th place. There's Gauthier Paulin, number 21. He's going to the line, what, in second position. There's Tony Cairoli. Nice little trick there, old school. Use the wooden beam behind just to clear off any unwanted mud from the rear wheel. Interesting for Gauthier Paulin going up to the box. Look at that. Tony Cairoli, first choice, decides to go to gate 3. And Gauthier Paulin going right next to the doghouse. The only thing I can think of there is maybe that she's been freshly dosed, or maybe he's expecting it to be a little bit less deep. But up the inside, of course, there might be a little bit of water. Clement de Sal there, number 25, lining in as we speak. These are live images we're getting from our helicam right now. That's impressive bank of VIP area there. This race here for the next few years, of course, there was a deal done with Romagnoli and the Brazilian Motorcycle Federation in terms of getting the MX3 for the next 4 years from 2013 anyway, and of course maybe a Motocross of Nations in 2015. Yet to be decided there, a venue, unless they have one already in mind. Obviously this could be an option, but so too could Indaiatuba or any of the circuits we've been to in the past few years. But conditions not that sticky, and obviously as long as it continues to rain here, the track will be a little bit mushy, but it's deep ruts out there. They're the problems that the riders are going to have to face in this first MX1 race. So what lies ahead then in this first MX1 moto as they line up on the grid? As you can see, the right side as we look at it, the left as they approach it, going into that 180-degree left-hand turn. There's number 61, Alf Herrenbrecher, just going to the line. And Herrenbrecher finishing in 19th position. Christophe Pourcel didn't have a good qualifying yesterday. Went down on more than one occasion, 24th when he came through on the first lap, and then dropped down to 29th. Worked his way back up to 20th, but didn't look comfortable at all out on the circuit yesterday in dry conditions. However, as I've already said, the rain is a good leveler. Christophe Pourcel, we know, doesn't mind riding in the wet, and he could be the surprise in this first MX1 race. Best Brazilian is the honorary Brit, Adam Chatfield. He was 17th in the qualifying race. Obviously rides out here in Brazil, beating the 903 Antonio Jorge Balbi Jr. He was 18th, so he was the first South American home in 18th in the qualifying. Herrenbrecher was 19th. Pourcel, as we've already mentioned, he was down in 20th. No Stephen Frossard in this race. Didn't start the qualifying race, and in choosing instead to take a bit of time off before the French Grand Prix. MX1 Race 1 about to get underway here in Brazil. It's the 5th round of the FIM MX1 Motocross World Championship. Clement de Sal looking for a good start. Him and his teammate Tanel Liot, the only two riders who went out on track this morning in the warm-up. And de Sal has to tiptoe his way around the inside. Doesn't get a good start. Somebody goes down in the background. 2, 3, 4 riders down already through the edge of the wave section. There are riders all over the place as they battle with the tough conditions here. Again, not choosing to go out in the warm-up lap is that Rui Gonçalves, our onboard camera. Looks like he's got a good start then in second position. Yellow flags already waving everywhere. There's Dodika, he's gone down. Guarneri just ahead of him there in the corner. The Silver Action KTM rider. That's him just picking his way up now. But we've got Rui Gonçalves there, 999. The first of the on the world MX1 riders. Pourcel, what did we say just a moment ago? Pourcel could be the dark horse here. He had a terrible qualifying yesterday, didn't get to grips with the track at all, and rain being a good leveler as it is, I mentioned a moment ago that he could be the guy that goes out there. He's obviously no stranger to riding in mud, and we could see Pourcel arrive here with his A game and already taking nice lines around the outside of the whole of that quagmire section. Taking a single over there at the moment. Remember, hasn't been out on the sighting lap. Gonçalves there in second position. Up the top of the hill, is that Ferris? I think that might be in third place. Cairoli going through and around 5th position. Just saw the flash there of the orange KTM rider as Gonçalves decides on his lines at the bottom end of the circuit. Then high and wide through here, dropping down through the negative camber. The ground running from left to right here. Of course, there'll be a load of ruts through there now. Oh, Pourcel almost coming to grief just at the final point there where it turns back on itself. And already the circuit spread out. Our leaders there, top of your picture, into that right-hander. That's Porcel and Gonçalves, and that's them now. So Dean Ferris it was who got a good start on the Ice 1 Racing Kawasaki. So he's a guy then that did take advantage of that good qualifying yesterday. Not sure on his mud riding credentials though. Obviously he's got about 40 minutes to prove himself here, and that's him there. Short stocky frame of the Australian. Former Monster Energy Kawasaki rider in the Australian Championship and lucky not to win it last year after picking up an injury with a round to go. And if I'm not mistaken, whilst leading the championship, but that might be, yeah, Cairoli there, just behind in 4th position. So conditions very, very difficult. The crowd staying on here, despite that being the case. As we look at 111, Dean Ferris, wow, look how... Now, the problem the riders have got coming through here, those ruts get harder the deeper they go. That's Cairoli. That Bobryshev going through, yes, Bobryshev there, 777 in, 4th position. So over the line then, oh, Ferris gets it wrong on the finish line jump, manages to keep it in 3rd place though. And Christophe Porcel already 6.5 seconds clear of Rui Gonçalves. Ferris is 3rd, Bobryshev 4th, Cairoli 5th, Tanel Leon, the Rockstar Energy Suzuki World MX1 rider, down in 6th, ahead of the Monster Energy Yamaha, David Philippart, Santu Tiainen, the other Ice 1 Kawasaki rider, teammate to the 111 there, getting it squirrely as he went by pit lane, Dean Ferris. Then we've got Xavier Borg in 10th position, the official Kawasaki rider, ahead of Jorge Balbi. Well, the crowd have been going nuts for him. Matis Caro, though, actually comes over the line in 11th, so Balbi's made a mistake already. So Balbi now in 15th, just behind Sean Simpson. Heron Bracker is 13th. Kenda Dyker 12th. Matis Caro. Right, we've got yellow flags up there. Is that for one of our leaders? Ferris goes through. So no sign of anybody there. Maybe the next turn. Well, yellow flags were waving, but could be for anybody. Up in the top corner. Was that Cairoli? Was that Cairoli up there in that far corner? I think it might have been, you know. Cairoli possibly going from 5th position. He got caught up on the banking just there in the background. And Tanel Leop now, he moves up a position into 5th place. So Tony Cairoli just saw a flash of white picking himself up. They weren't the yellow flags that were waving, but he did go down in the background. So we've got Porcel leading, Gonçalves, Ferris, Bobryshev, that's those two going through. Ferris there, the 111 on the Kawasaki. The 777, the recently married Evgeny Bobryshev, got married 2 weeks ago. A quick wedding ceremony back home in Russia. Him and Liliana tying the knot, but Ferris getting all out of shape at the bottom there. So too Evgeny Bobryshev. And it really is going to be a survival of the fittest. These bikes are a little bit heavier than the MX2 bikes that we saw out on the track a moment ago. Back marker there, just trying to pick his way through. Comes across Evgeny Bobryshev. He won't like that too much, but he gets through with no problems in the end. Dean Ferris there with the towel hanging off the back of his pants. That's in case he goes down and he needs to stop to give those hands a quick wipe. Well, there's, is that Rui Gonçalves? I think that might be Rui. He's there in 2nd position. There's Ferris 3rd. Back marker in the background. Don't worry about him. Bobryshev now on the left of your screen. The number 777 almost off the bike through the waves. So too Dean Ferris at the end of the straight. But Cairoli is now behind Tanel Leon. Philippart's down in 7th. Paulin 8th. Santu Tiainen in 9th. Xavier Borg 10th. They were how they. That's how the riders came over the line a moment ago. Matis Caro was 11th. Dyker was 12th. Heron Bracker, Sean Simpson, Antonio Balbi, Kevin Strybos, Alfie Smith, Sebastian Porcel, and Jean Ramos and Jonathan Barrigan down in 20th position at the moment. Commander Sal buried down the order outside of the top 20 at the moment. So too Guarneri and Chatfield. So again, Commander Sal is going to have to bide his time here, not rush, and try to pull his way back up. But that's the gap that Porcel's got. Already out of shot there. There's Rui Gonçalves coming onto the start straight now, middle of the screen, going into turn 1. Then we've got the battle between Ferris and Bobryshev. As we look at our race leader, Christophe Porcel, just tiptoeing his way around. The only rider that was praying for rain probably yesterday after the qualifying race. Just take a quick look out of the window. The rain seems to have stopped, for now at least. Saw Stefan Everts a moment ago out on the infield, putting down one of his KTM umbrellas. That's what prompted me to look out of the window, but fastest lap of the race, look at that. A 3:11.0 for Christophe Pourcel is opening registered time, and fastest laps for everybody else behind him. Just think of that number, Christophe Pourcel 3:11.0, Gonçalves 3:21.5, Ferris 3:22.6, Bobryshev 3:21.2, Tanel Leoc then, the second fastest rider on track at the moment with a 3:19.5. And then Philipparts, 3:25. Paulin, 3:24. Simpson now in 8th place, 3:17. Cairoli down in 9th place with a 3:53. And then Xavier Borg with a 3:31 lap time. Everybody else similar to that. Clément de Saux now up into 13th position as he comes over the line on the Suzuki. So already making progress then is Clément de Saux. On board with Rui Gonçalves. Our cameraman, Sandro Caselli, doing a great job fitting the roll-offs to the helmet cam there then for Rui Gonçalves, but it really gives you an idea how muddy the track is. But also what you don't know there is, and you'll only know this from experience, this clay-like ground is very, very grabby, so very difficult. Here's that off camber on the left-hand turn. Second place, Rui Gonçalves, the Honda World MX1 rider, just doing his best to pick his way through. It's like a home race for him, of course, coming from Portugal, the native language here in Brazil, Portuguese. Well, certainly very, very similar dialect anyway, but Rui Gonçalves needs a good result in the championship. Down in 10th place at the moment. Already had a DNF in the second race in Bulgaria. Only picked up a point in the first moto with a 20th in Italy, round 3. So closest he's been to a podium is a 4th in the second moto in the Netherlands. So he's going to be hoping that the next 26 minutes plus 2 laps, which, as we said in MX2, going to amount to about another 7 minutes of race action on this track, or certainly action anyway. He's going to be hoping that he can stay there at the very, very least. The rain, the mud becoming a good leveler. Even if you've got niggling injuries out on the track, you're able to just do what you can. Looking for Dean Farewell. Tanel Leoc is there. He's just been passed by Bobryshev, so... In fact, no, Bobryshev being caught and almost passed there by the number 4 of Tanel Leoc. So over the line we go. How close do you two want it? From one side of the track to the other, almost banging bars. Pourcel through, Rui Gonçalves second, Ferris already through in third, Bobryshev there in the white on the Honda, just hanging on to 4th by the skin of his teeth. He's got Tanel Leoc breathing all down his neck on that Suzuki, the Rockstar Energy Suzuki. Yellow flags waving at turn 2. Gonçalves, no, Alfie Smith, I think that might be. Actually, just by virtue of the... no, it was Gonçalves. So Gonçalves then going out of second position on the factory Honda. His teammate goes through and almost gets it wrong himself on the top of the jump. There was a rider down on the top of the jump there. And Bobryshev caught him unsighted. So not sure who that was in the background, but a lucky escape there for the number 777, Evgeny Bobryshev, as he just came over the top of that jump. And Bobryshev there in third position now at the demise of his teammate. Rui Gonçalves, another rider here who could use with a podium, actually, could do with a podium, down in 11th place. Well, 10th and 11th, actually, for the two Honda guys, Gonçalves and Bobryshev. Of course, Bobryshev didn't ride in Mexico, had that bronchitis. There's his teammate Gonçalves just behind him. So where's Leoc gone then? Leoc ahead of these guys. There he is. So Leoc did capitalise them. That's our lead rider in shot there, number 4, Tanel Leoc. So he's in third place. It's Pourcel from Ferris in second. Leoc third. I think Bobryshev 4th. Gonçalves now in 5th position. And who's that coming around the outside? David Philipparts from out of nowhere. David Philipparts He's closing in, and he's all over the back of our onboard camera of Rui Gonçalves, who in turn is trying to go after his teammate, and I think he's made the pass stick there. So here's Philipparts. He's still there in 6th position at the moment. So the Monster Energy Yamaha, the tall, lean figure of the former Italian world champion, David Philipparts, going after the top 5 that are just ahead of him around this turn. David Philipparts, Monster Energy Yamaha rider, 2nd rider in shot there. He's caught right up onto the rear wheel of Rui Gonçalves, and in fact the rider ahead of him is Gonçalves' teammate, Evgeny Bobryshev. Gonçalves just disappearing out of shot there after making a mistake a lap ago. Porcel, another fastest lap of the race for him, a 3:05.044. Some 12 seconds quicker than Gonçalves did the previous lap. Of course, we're waiting for our 2nd place rider to come through. That'll be Dean Ferris on the Ice One Racing Kawasaki. Sean Simpson, where's he? He's dropped down to 12th place at the moment. Oh, Philipparts uses those long legs just to save himself from falling. The front end just wanting to get away from him. And look at that, the Yamaha already steaming, already overheating, like we've seen so many bikes today. And if it's not fuel that's going to run out in the closing stages of the race, it might be the overheat. Who's that just ahead? Oh, that was Bobryshev and Gonçalves. Then Gonçalves went down the inside. This is where he passed his teammate half a lap ago. Decided to go to the inside there, did Rui Gonçalves. Found a way through down the inside. Almost took David Philipparts with him as well. So our first 7 riders are over the line. And we've got Porcel, Dean Ferris 2nd, Tanel Leoc 3rd, Rui Gonçalves is 4th, Bobryshev 5, Philipparts, we're going down to pit lane.
Joining me now in the pit lane, Mr. Jorge Villegas, Vice Principal of the FIM. We're here in Brazil, and I just can't believe it. The structure, everything surrounding us is so beautiful. We're so fortunate to have this as part of the World Championship calendar.
Yeah, this is really amazing. We have an incredible place for this extraordinary race. We are missing a bit the sun, but this will come. But these infrastructures I've never seen anywhere else.
And we've got so many new places coming on the World Championship calendar. Things are only going to get more exciting.
I'm certain that it will be more and more exciting. We'll go to more and more places outside the traditional places, and this is what the public wants, really.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Well, the big news at the moment, as we look at Tony Cairoli there, the Red Bull KTM factory rider, struggling away at the moment, down in 10th place. So that one mistake has cost him a few more positions, struggling to get back into the groove here. Although there are quite a few to choose from, but Porcel leads Dean Ferris, Tanel Leoc now 3rd, Rui Gonçalves is 4th. That's where Cairoli crashed about 2 laps ago. Rui Gonçalves 4th, Evgeny Bobryshev is 5th, David Philipparts is 6th, ahead of Gauthier Paulin. Clement de Salle has picked himself up off the deck at turn 1. He's now in 8th place, and he would have gone by Tony Cairoli and Kenda Dijker, who are now 9th and 10th. Cairoli down in that 10th place. Xavier Borg is 11th, Sean Simpson 12th, ahead of Sebastian Porcel, Kevin Strybos on the HM Plant KTM, then Mattis Caro on the STR KTM down in 15th place. Jonathan Barragan is 16th on the LS Motors Honda, or LS Honda now as it is. Santu Tienen, the Ice One Kawasaki, down in 17th, ahead of David Guarneri, Silver Action KTM, Alfie Smith on the JK Gebbon Yamaha, and John Carlos Ramos down in 20th position. The first of the South American riders as Paulin just tries to go through there on a back marker as he just found a way past David Philipparts. No, he's got Clement de Salle breathing down his neck. Oh, Tanel Leoc there as well. So Leoc's just made a mistake, been passed by Gauthier Paulin going down the hill, and by Clement de Salle. So Tanel Leoc, now the 3rd rider in shot, just losing 2 positions to the number 21 here of Gauthier Paulin, and the 25, the Suzuki there of Clement de Salle, who's on a bit of a charge at the moment, now up into, what is he, 7th position now, I think. And looking for a way through on Gauthier Paulin, holds a tighter line, loses the rear wheel. That's the problem if you go too far offline. You need the ruts here to keep you stable, but eventually those ruts will get too deep. You'll get acceleration bumps going through them as well. And both riders, as they struggle to go offline, to get up onto the plateau. It was a 30-odd metre triple jump yesterday to there. That's where Philipparts cased and landed in the flat, went straight on in the corner. Didn't crash, but lost a position. But Pourcel continuing to defy the odds here. 3:09.1. Another fast lap. Not the fastest lap of the race, of course, not this stage in the race, but compared to everybody else, 23, what is it, 3:09 for him, 3:23, 3:21 for Ferris and Gonçalves. They're 10 seconds apart. But at the moment, it's Christophe Pourcel from Dean Ferris. Gonçalves back in third, Bobachev fourth, Philipparts fifth, Gauthier Paulin, Clément de Sales battle over sixth position. Ken de Dijker is eighth, and he is only a couple seconds down, and that's him just closing in there. So there's Paulin, there's de Sales. And any moment now coming into view, number 9, Ken de Dijker on the Red Bull KTM. We've got a rider down at the end of the straight. Not sure who that is, but de Dijker then in 8th. Put in a good ride yesterday in qualifying, doing it again here in the first race. Tano Leoc is 9th, Xavier Borg is 10th. Cairoli now dropped down to 11th position. So that's only going to be 10 points for him. He's going to lose 15 points in terms of what he could have got by winning this race. But still plenty of time to go for Cairoli. But not looking good for the Italian at the moment. Not looking good for Gauthier Paulin either, as he comes under attack from the 25 of Clément de Sales. We're getting ready to go back down to pit lane and grab a word with Amy Dargan, our girl down there, and I think we're going to speak to the Monster Energy Yamaha squad. David Philippart in 5th place at the moment. He's 5 seconds down on the Russian, Evgeny Bobryshev, who's the Honda World MX1 rider. But for now, we're going to concentrate on this battle here. De Sales goes to the inside, gets it wrong, going through the rut. Philippart's just going through there. You can see that smoking Yamaha as he drops downhill, inside left-hander. We're going down to pit lane right now.
Joining me in the pit lane, Stephen Frossard. We're missing you in this race. Can you give us an update on the injury?
Yeah, yesterday I tried to make 2 laps and it was too difficult for me. I had so pain to my knee, and I prefer wait 3 weeks without bike. And I will try again in France, and I hope I will be good.
We hope to see you back soon.
Okay.
Yeah, Stephen Frossard not riding, obviously trying to get ready for his home GP. And as we look at Gauthier Paulin, he'll be another guy looking for a good result there. He's doing all right at the moment, not too bad. Like we said, it's survival of the fittest. Was that Ferris? I don't think it was. It was one of the locals, but Dean Ferris, we're still waiting for him to come over the line in 2nd position at the moment. We've got a Kawasaki 1-2, the CP377 Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki of Christophe Pourcel. Dean Ferris, the Ice One Kawasaki rider. That's Philipparts, 19, trying to close it in on the 777. Evgeny Bobryshev as they fight over that 4th place. And Bobryshev getting it wrong, so too Philipparts, but Philipparts just waving a leg there as he came through, gets the drive, gets onto the plateau. Has he made the pass stick? Well, he's going to cut right across Bobryshev and hold that inside line. And he moves up now into 4th place. So, great bit of riding there from David Philipparts. Look at that, he's got Rui Gonçalves just ahead of him, 999, using different lines, more momentum around the outside. And already onto the rear wheel and past Rui Gonçalves as they go over the line now, side by side. The Monster Energy Yamaha rider, David Philipparts, moves into 3rd place, going from 5th to 3rd in the space of, 2 corners. So Philipparts then, not all doom and gloom then over in that Monster Energy Yamaha paddock, or awning I should say. But Christophe Pourcel on a mission at the moment. He's more than a minute ahead, as you can imagine, of Dean Ferris, 1:16 ahead. We've still got 15 minutes to go, plus 2 laps. So about another 20-odd minutes to go in this, what's normally a 40-minute moto. But David Philipparts, no goggles. Got an Enduro bum bag wrapped around his waist, just in case he needs that. Good idea. Don't see that too often. So we have a clean pair of gloves in there. You probably have a clean pair of goggles. That's one way of getting around the outside assistance rule. Take it with you, stop, and do the change yourself. But going without the goggles at the moment, he realises that he's in 3rd position. The 2 Hondas there go through. Rui Gonçalves and Evgeny Bobryshev. That's Santu Tianen, number 67. He's down in 18th at the moment, so that's Philipparts going through on him. Alfie Smith just ahead of him there in 17th place. So Alfie Smith, the JK Gebbon Yamaha rider, Two Hondas coming through here, and they've got Gauthier Paulin and Clément de Sal right with them as well. Paulin grabs a tear off as he tries to find a way past Bobryshev. So the top end of the circuit and the far end of the racetrack as well. There's Paulin, number 21, the Monster Energy, well, the official Kawasaki rider. Goes down the inside. That's the move that got Bobryshev a couple of laps ago with Rui Gonçalves. We saw him dive down the inside, and look at that, it's completely ruined the drive of Evgeny Bobryshev. Paulin just going for that darting move. Dropped his Kawasaki right in the ruts and almost buried it in the deep rut there. But big soft berm, almost bringing the Kawasaki rider to a halt. And Bobryshev now struggling through here. And de Sal losing ground as well as a result of that in the background. Heavy conditions here. There's de Sal, second rider in shot, trying to line up the Honda of Evgeny Bobryshev. Tony Cairoli still there, down in 11th place now, just ahead of Sean Simpson. But Cairoli, considerable way down on our race leader, Christophe Pourcel, as you'd expect. Rui Gonçalves there, the 999. Here's Paulin, number 21. They're 4th and 5th in the race. We've got yellow flags out into the left-hander, I would think. Oh, Paulin almost into the rear wheel of the Honda. But Rui Gonçalves hanging on here at the moment. Gauthier Paulin, the Grand Prix winner in Bulgaria. Second round of the championship. Did it with a moto win as well here in the second race on a weekend that Kawasaki completely dominated MX1 and MX2 in terms of the first two positions in both classes. But with 11 minutes to go, Christophe Pourcel continues to lead. He's 1 minute 41 clear of Dean Ferris. David Philipparts is third. Rui Gonçalves is fourth. Gauthier Paulin, that's him we're looking at going into that right-hander now on the Kawasaki, number 21. He's in 5th place. Then Clément de Sal, the 25 on the Suzuki, is 6th. Ken de Dijker is over the line in 7th. So too Bobryshev in 8th. Tanel Leok is 9th. Sean Simpson now in 10th. Cairoli is 11th. Strybos is 12th. And we're waiting for Xavier Borg, who was 13th last time around. Ken de Dijker's gone down. So Ken de Dijker out of 7th position at the moment. Turn 2, right in front of pit lane. Is that Simpson going through? I think it might have been. And Bobryshev, so he's lost a few positions with that fall, it would appear, as we get back to Rui Gonçalves and 21 of Gauthier Paulin. But at the moment, Christophe Pourcel making it look easy as Paulin makes the move. Gauthier Paulin goes into 4th position with that little maneuver through that right-hander. Rui Gonçalves went to the outside to try and ride his way through the rhythm section. Paulin went to the inside over the mogul, got the better drive, and eventually by the end of that managed to get the pass done and dusted. So Gauthier Paulin now, number 21. That's who we're looking at coming up the hill towards us. He's in that 4th position. He's 8 seconds down on David Philipparts, the Monster Energy Yamaha rider, who's in 3rd. But rider of the race so far, well, there are 2 of them, Christophe Pourcel, when you consider the result that he had yesterday, but never discount the former world champion, Christophe Pourcel. But Dean Ferris, he is the guy that's looking at his first podium in the MX1 category. Karitiainen, the team manager, not here this weekend, had to fly back home to Finland, but the rest of the team are here. And I'm sure he's going to be watching a little bit nervously the next 9 minutes plus 2 of this FIM MX1 motocross race. It's the 5th round of the World Championship. And as you can see, the circuit in, well, a tough condition, I will say. Pretty much one line that you can see there that's going to have more traction, but there are plenty to choose from. But it just depends how far offline you go, depends on how long it's going to take you to get from A to B. And the rider that's making it look so easy at the moment, and we're not seeing a lot of, actually, Christophe Pourcel. who continues to lap quicker. Only David Philipparts is getting close, and he was only 3 seconds down on him last time around. There is Porcel, our race leader. Cleanest man on track. Just picking his way through. All the French riders over the years have been great mud riders. I remember Sébastien Tortelli, I remember Jackie Vimond and Yves Dumaurier, Michael Pichon in particular. A very good mud racer. And obviously here, Christophe Porcel looking at picking up 25 points. No steam coming from the undercarriage of that Kawasaki. No overheating problems for him. No block radiators to talk of. That's why hasn't spent too long getting roosted in the early parts of the laps like his competitors. David Philipparts, we saw that bike smoking for a few laps. There's Ferris, and I think that might be Philipparts all over the back of him. There were 2 seconds in it as they came over the line. So this is a battle for second then. Dean Ferris, the 111, and the number 19 of David Philipparts. So the Australian versus the Italian. Ferris won't mind too much. He might not even put up too much of a fight, to be honest, but that Yamaha of Philipparts still smoking away. That might play into the hands of Dean Ferris there. Another rider who hasn't spent too much time getting bogged down with traffic filling him in. Through the Invest Trade turn. That's turn... is that turn 6? Turn 9, I think that might have been. But up the hill, Ferris. Face full of roost for David Philipparts as he comes over the line, over the hill. Paulhan still 4th, Gonçalves still 5th, Clement de Sau now 6th ahead of Evgeny Bobashev, Sean Simpson who's 8th, Cairoli up to 9th now, so he's pulled back a couple of positions, has Tony Cairoli. Kevin Strybos is 10th, Kenneth Eicher, well he dropped down to 11th in that corner, and we've got Mattis Caro, Tanel Leoc, Xavier Borg, Jonathan Barragan, Alfie Smith and Santu Tienen. So points on the board here, potentially, for the number 41, Alfie Smith, in 16th place. So that'll be 5 on the board for him. And Alfie Smith, who's 32nd in the championship with 3 points from the second moto in Fermo a couple of weekends ago, 3 weekends ago, is looking at picking up a few more points to be his best ever points haul in an MX1 championship. Scored 7 last year in the final race of the year at Fermo, so obviously that track pretty good for him. But we're looking at the battle here for second position. Number 111, Dean Ferris. 19, David Philipparts. Kawasaki versus Yamaha. Philipparts just going a little bit wider, maybe intentionally, but then has to back off as he goes through under that bridge. Ferris puts the squeeze on a back marker. Goes anywhere will do through that turn, then gets hung up in the rut there. Legs his way through. Philipparts having to deal with the smoking back marker. Oh, and Ferris goes down. So Philipparts goes round the outside, and Ferris will drop out a second at least. And look how heavy that 450 Kawasaki is now. It's got a ton of mud on there, and he's going to be in danger of losing a podium to Gauthier Paulhan. And there is Paulhan. Is that? No, it might have not been. I'm not sure. Didn't quite catch the number. Got to get that bike fired up now, Dino. Does so. Second kick. No, he doesn't actually. Got to rock it back and forwards, try and find neutral. So Dean Ferris, who was looking at a podium there in second place, just lost the front end. Just watch again. Nothing to get into. Thought there was a line there. The mud just folded on him. And Philipparts, well, he was the wrong side of the back marker anyway, and was just able to sail on by, and it was Paulhan that went through. So Paulhan is now 3rd. Gonçalves is 4th. De Sau 5th. And poor old Dean Ferris dropping down to 6th place, and there he is, he's up and running again, heading through turn 1. So he'll be disappointed with that. Looking at Rui Gonçalves. He's in 4th place. That's him here, coming towards us right now. The number 999. It's the Honda Grand Prix of Brazil, remember here. Rui Gonçalves, a Honda rider, a factory Honda rider at that. And Honda, big sponsors here, massive Honda presence. I know there were 30 journalists came over as guests of Honda as well, because they've got a load of different things going on here in the hotel that we were staying at. But Rui Gonçalves just off the podium at the moment. Ugh. Is that De Sau? I think it was. Commander Sal just closing in on the Honda of Rui Gonçalves. So this is a battle for 4th place now. Commander Sal just trying to pick his way through. Made good progress to get up to the rear wheels here. But he's not been able to go through. So he's now maybe relying on a mistake or a change of line. Rui Gonçalves favouring the outside now. The rider's able to sweep in across there from right to left and maintain that momentum. You see how dry it is underneath the circuit on the main race line. Commander Sal looking sneaky here, looking for a way through. Can he get higher up on that ledge? Oh, it's going to be tight. Bit of enduro through that part of the circuit. Cairoli back down to 10th place, so he's lost a position. Kevin Strybos, the rider on the move, he's moved up into 8th on the HM Plank KTM. So Strybos, who was 11th a moment ago, now finds himself in 8th place, knocking on the door for 7th with Evgeny Bobryshev just ahead of him. And the other interesting fact about that is Dean Ferris is now only 9 seconds ahead of those guys as we look at DeSalle trying to find a way past Rui Gonçalves. So Dean Ferris having to regroup quickly if he doesn't want the likes of Bobryshev and Strybos in particular to find a way through. Sean Simpson is 9th, a mistake there for Commander Sal in the background. Mattis Caro having a great ride in 12th. Xavier Borg now 13th, Barragan 14th. Alfie Smith still there. Oh, he's up a position actually in 15th now, ahead of Santu Tiene and Davide Guarneri, who went down on their first lap. He's now 17th. And Tano Leoc, who started so high up the field, now down in 18th place ahead of the Brazilian Antonio Jorge Balbi and Sebastian Porcel. Christophe Porcel still half a lap ahead of everybody else. Devin Philippart's there in 2nd position. 9 seconds further back, Gauthier Paulin. We've still got 120 plus 2 laps to go, so about 8 minutes remain then in this, or thereabouts anyway, in this first MX1 race here in Brazil. And it's a shame as well, Jorge Viejas there, the Vice President of the FIM. We were talking to him a moment ago down in pit lane as DeSalle getting ready to tee up Rui Gonçalves, but still not able to get away through. But the weather conditions won't dampen the spirits of the fans here. In what is turning out, whoa, DeSalle, did he stay up on 2 wheels through that right-hander? Rui Gonçalves, he's still on 2 wheels. Where's DeSalle? Any moment now we should see DeSalle, unless he lost the bike there completely, but if he has gone down, that would be a let-off for Rui Gonçalves, and he manages to hold on to 4th position. We just lost Commander Sal just a moment ago. He came past the first section of grandstand. Both wheels looked to have slid away from underneath him. And there's Jonathan Barragan as well being lapped. He's in 14th place. So Barragan was in 14th. There's DeSalle, I think, in the background now. Or is that, yeah, that's DeSalle, definitely DeSalle. So it cost him a little bit of time. That's Bobryshev. Bobrishev's gone missing. And he's trying to pick that bike up. This guy's not been feeling well, and he's got to be careful here because the marshals, they're not allowed to help you pick the bikes up. I'm not sure exactly, but that might be deemed as outside assistance. And that'll be a tough blow for Evgeny Bobryshev because he was in 7th position. As, well, the rain has stopped here. There's Porcel. This is the bit where DeSalle went missing a moment ago. Christophe Porcel, though, just picking his way through nicely, not doing anything wrong. Great atmosphere around the circuit here. It's got very much of a stadium feel to it, but hasn't been rushed. Probably even barely breaking a sweat underneath that helmet of his, Christophe Porcel, but really showing everybody how to get on here. Michael Lieb was asking me this morning, so what do you think is going to be the best way to ride this track? And I said, whole shot. And his mechanic, Ben, turned around and said, see, that's what I told you. Well, obviously, Christophe Porcel might have been in earshot at that point because obviously that's what he's gone out and done. Kenda Dyker, just look how horrible those holes are there, just at the end of that cambered part of the circuit. Dyker there, the Red Bull KTM rider, number 9. Down in 9th place at the moment. Could have been a little bit higher after that mistake. Sean Simpson just ahead of him on the Monster Energy Yamaha. Remember, dislocated his shoulder a week ago in Mexico. obviously able to ride this weekend. Sean Simpson said he was only out for about 3 or 4 minutes. There's Kai Rowley closing in on the rear of Ken de Dyker and Sean Simpson. This is going to be a three-way battle for 8th position. So Kai Rowley looking to maybe try and pull a few more points back. We're used to seeing him doing it in the dry, but has he left it too late here in the wet conditions? You see the mud piled right up in the corner of the roll-offs there on Tony Kai Rowley's goggles. Got that corner. A little bit sandier, that part of the track, so you've got a bit of sand mixed in. Simpson gets it all wrong. That'll be no good for the shoulder. And Ken de Dyker goes through. So de Dyker then picking up on a mistake, or capitalising on a mistake for Sean Simpson, and Kai Rowley goes through as well. And Simpson really had to wrestle the Yamaha as he came out of that corner. I said a moment ago, couldn't have done the shoulder any good at all. So he's got 3 laps to go. Time is up on the clock officially. Christophe Pourcel already 2.5 minutes clear of these guys, so in about 50-odd seconds time, Christophe Pourcel is going to be taking the 2 lap to go board. Such is the distance that he has over everybody else. He's 1.5 minutes clear, 1:34 of David Philipparts, who's in second, 1:50 clear of Gauthier Paulin in third, and Rui Gonçalves still in 4th place. Clément de Sal, who looked to have gone through a moment ago, but he's still there in 5th place after that mistake. He's down in 5th. Kevin Strybos down to 6th. Look at that, Kevin Dyker 7th. So great ride for Kevin Strybos on the HM Plant KTM. UK team, Roger McGee at home. Hope you're well, Roger. And hope your boy's doing it well for you here in this first MX1 race. Putting on a good charge in that 6th position. Just looking to see who we can pick up through here, but de Dyker at 7th. Is that him at the top of the hill? Well, there's Barragan, there's de Dyker. Barragan a lap down, and Barragan still down in 14th as Ken de Dyker goes through in 7th. There's Kai Rowley, 2:22. He's in 8th place. Simpson just behind them in 9. So Kevin Strybos just a few seconds, about 14 seconds further up the track, actually, is Kevin Strybos. And about 10 seconds down, in fact, no, it's 11 seconds clear, is Strybos. Just over 2 laps to go for Tony Kai Rowley. He's down in 8th place on the Red Bull Factory KTM. He's got Ken de Dyker in his sights, and about 12 seconds further up the track is the HM Plant KTM of Kevin Strybos, who's fought his way through from well outside the top 10 into 6th position. Christophe Pourcel continues to lead by more than 1.5 minutes over David Philipparts. Philipparts lapping quicker that time around. Gauthier Paulin, the quickest of those guys though, but the quickest on track was Rui Gonçalves until Kevin Strybos came through with a 3:10 lap time. So Strybos, 14 seconds down on Clément de Sal at the moment. Ken de Dyker is still 7th, Kai Rowley is 8th, Simpson is 9th, Caro on the STR KTM is 10th. Gonny Bobashev after that fall as Kai Rowley gets a little bit off to the right there on that uphill triple. Manages to keep it upright in 8th, Simpson 9, Caro 10, Bobashev is 11th. As Kai Rowley goes through on Barragan. And Dean Ferris is 12th, so that fall just in the corner we just saw there, the right-hander, obviously affecting the concentration there of Dean Ferris, finding it difficult to get back on track and refocus. He's now down in 12th. Xavier Borg is 13th. Jonathan Barragan, despite just being lapped there, still down in 14th. And we've got Alfie Smith, David Guarneri, Santu Tien and Wellington Garcia, first Brazilian. Tanel Leoc and Antonio Balbi down in 20th place. His sister rode at Hangtown yesterday, the Women's Outdoor Nationals in the US. Took a 5th in one of the motos, I believe. It's obviously ridden here in the past. Tony Kai Rowley struggling there to get himself lined up for that rut through that next turn. And has he gone down? I think he might have gone down there as well in the corner. Or has he? Has he kept it upright? He may have just kept it upright, pulling a tear off, pulling a roll off there. So there's our race leader though, Sebastian Pourcel, quite coolly just wiping his hands or his chest protector there as he came out of turn 1. Difficult ride round there with 2 hands on the bike, let alone 1, so not sure if he's showing off or just generally writing something off there. But around the outside goes Porcel, up onto the jump, no problems there, so there's obviously a rider down out of our camera shot there. Monster Energy bridge there, absolutely splattered, coming out of, what, turn 3 at the end of pit lane. Gauthier Paulin, he's in 3rd, Ruben Gonçalves 4th, Strybos now 5th, Sal 6th. So Kevin Strybos then, a good strong ride for him. Now up into 5th place, might just be too much of an ask to close down those 13 seconds that he currently has to make up to Ruben Gonçalves, but we never know what can happen on this circuit here in the final stages. There's Christophe Porcel though, our race leader, more than 1.5 minutes ahead of David Philipparts. Kenda Dyker is down in 7th position. Kai Rowley is 8th. 9th is Sean Simpson. Bobryshev is 10th. Caro's 11th. Ferris is 12th. Xavier Borg and Jonathan Barrigan 13th and 14th. Alfie Smith still circulating in that 15th position. Tanel Leok is that number 4. I think it might be. Or is it DeSalle? Is it the 25? Well, if that's DeSalle, then he's lost that 6th position, and that'll be even further expensive for him because he was 29 points behind Kai Rowley in the championship, and he will lose a few more points. Even worse for him, Kai Rowley will gain a position in the race and gain points by virtue of the fact that no points on the board for DeSalle. I'm sure it looked like the number 4, though, of Tanel Leok. Trying to start that bike up. But less than a third of the lap to go. Up on the pegs, nicely through the ruts there, not having to take any risks. The number 377 of Christophe Porcel. Yeah, we're still waiting for DeSalle to go through. Down in 6th position. Through them all my waves goes Christophe Porcel. Our race leader. And Christophe Porcel, 5th in the championship. Taken 2 race wins so far, the opening race in Bulgaria, the opening race in Italy. And he's picking up what could be his 3rd race win of the season. Doesn't look like he's going to make any mistakes from here on in, that's for sure. It was DeSalle that went missing, or was it? No. He might get 9th here. Oh, slight bobble there for our race leader, Christophe Porcel, but just the final corner to go for him. And Porcel comes over the first jump. Monster Energy finish line jump awaits, and Christophe Porcel rides up onto the finish line jump and takes his 3rd race win of the season. Big cheers from the crowd, a great atmosphere here despite the muddy conditions. And of course our track guys will be out on track as soon as they can to work on the parts as best they can for this 2nd race. It stopped raining for now. Yeah, Clement DeSalle it was, who was parked up trying to get that bike started. But there are riders who have been lapped and are in worse positions than him. And DeSalle may still pick up a couple of points here, but not the points that he was expecting. And the lead that size, Christophe Porcel, could have almost done a Hakan Karlqvist. And for those who don't know who Hakan Karlqvist was, the 1983 500cc world champion for Yamaha, stopped at the 1988 Grand Prix in Belgium at Namur. His lead was so big he actually stopped down at the cafe on the roadway there, and was at DeSalle there just trying to start the bike, and took a beer. Pulled up for a beer. That was one of his dreams, to have a big lead, and he took a glass of beer. Porcel's case, be a bit of an upgrade coming from France. It would have been a glass of red wine, but there you go. Philipparts comes over the line in 2nd, salutes the crowd. 129 down on our race leader, so 2 Monster Energy riders 1st and 2nd. Gauthier Paulin, we're still waiting for him to come over the line in 3rd. and he does so now. So that looks like the first three. Rui Gonçalves in fourth, in what were very challenging conditions indeed. But Kevin Strybos, probably the ride of the day then, there in fifth place. Number 22, the HM Plant KTM. As Porcel just walks back to the podium area, get himself cleaned up, and maybe we might be able to grab a quick word with him, who knows. We'll wait for Ken de Dijker to come over the line. He finished in sixth place. And there he is. Ken de Dijker does come over the line. So a good recovery then for de Dijker in the end to get back to sixth. Tony Cairoli was seventh at the start of the previous lap. So that won't be too bad for him in the end in terms of the championship. But that's all we've got time for in MX1. Hopefully we'll join you a little bit later on for MX2 Race 2. My name's Paul Mellin. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here in Brazil in about an hour's time. Bye for now.